With a robust utilization of its abundant gas resources, Nigeria's energy transition has officially commenced, and this is irreversible. That's a strong statement from the national energy company NNPC Limited during the commissioning and massive deployment of compressed natural gas stations in Abuja and Lagos. This opens a vista of eco-friendly environments, reducing cost burden and over-reliance on petrol as transportation fuel. Hello and welcome. This is Energy and You, a weekly show that updates you with issues around the energy sector with a focus on NNPC Limited. I'm Egosa Igumbo. In this episode, we'll bring you details of the just concluded 2024 NOG Energy Week, where NNPC Limited declared an emergency on crude oil production. Details of these and more in just a moment. Please join us again. Thanks for staying with us. We begin with trending energy stories from around the globe as well as the performance of oil prices. Oil prices fell at the start of the week after getting previously for 4 straight weeks. This comes as traders monitor the impact of Hurricane Beryl on supplies, while the Gaza ceasefire talks also eased disruption worries. Brent crude futures were down 42 cents at $86.12 a barrel. The African Petroleum Producers Organization, APO, has selected Abuja, Nigeria's capital, to host the headquarters of the newly established Africa Energy Bank (AEB). Jointly established by APO and Multilateral Development Finance Institution Afreximbank, the AEB aims to address the funding challenges faced by Africa's oil and gas industry amid the global energy transition. As a supranational institution, it will provide funds for African energy projects, including emerging oil and gas projects across the continent. ExxonMobil says changes in oil prices would increase the company's second quarter upstream earnings by $300 million to $700 million compared with the first quarter. The oil major would be reporting its first earnings after closing the acquisition of Pioneer Natural Resources for $60 billion, with the combined operations making it the largest oil producer in the Permian Basin. Britain's renewable industry has called on the new Labour government to increase the country's renewable auction budget by hundreds of millions of pounds to help meet its offshore wind target and wider goal to decarbonise the power grid. Labour swept to victory in Britain's election last week, and the party has pledged to expand the country's offshore wind capacity to 55 gigawatts by 2030, from the current 15 gigawatts as part of wider climate goals. Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, Mr. Mele Kyari, has declared that the drive to bring compressed natural gas closer to Nigerians has since commenced and is irreversible. Along with more CNG stations, the company plans to establish 3 liquefied natural gas stations in Ajaokuta in the next 1 year.
There's no turning back on this. It's simply nowhere to turn back because this is the right...
Kyari, who disclosed this on Thursday during the simultaneous commissioning of 12 CNG stations in Abuja and Lagos, said in addition to the massive deployment of CNG stations nationwide, NNPC Limited and its partners would also build 3 liquefied natural gas stations in Ajaokuta. According to him, NNPC will build 1 and also collaborate with its partners to build another 2.
CNG journey is irreversible for 2 reasons. One is that we are providing cheaper fuel, cleaner fuel, and also utilizing the resources that God has made available to our country, which we haven't leveraged for a long time. And this won't happen until you have a focus. And at this point, I would really particularly want to thank Mr. President for giving us the push that this is possible. And we are seeing this happening.
While assuring that NNPC Limited will continue to deliver more strategic gas projects for the benefit of Nigerians in line with the presidential CNG initiative of bringing prosperity to all Nigerians, Kyari reaffirmed the determination of NNPC to guarantee the nation's energy security. Also speaking at the occasion, the Managing Director, NNPC Retail Limited, Hop Stockman, revealed that in the next 1 year, NNPC Retail would have launched over 100 CNG sites, including 16 NNPC gas marketing and NIPCO gas joint venture sites.
These stations represent a major step in expanding our CNG presence in the country, marking an important moment in our efforts to diversify Nigeria's energy mix. CNG will be about 40% cheaper than petrol in Nigeria, and with continued investments, it will become a significant part of our energy mix. In the next 12 months, NNPC Retail will have launched over 100 CNG sites, including 16 NGML NIPCO JV sites.
In his remarks, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Gas, Ekperipe Ekpo, said the commissioning of the stations will not only provide economic benefits by creating jobs and stimulating local economies, it will also contribute significantly to Nigeria's national goals of reducing emissions and combating climate change.
I commend the NNPC for living up to the mandate of their own establishment to work through and make sure CNG is available for Nigerians. It is irreversible, as they have said.
On his part, the chairman of the NNPC Board of Directors, Chief Pius Akinyelure, said increased CNG adoption will foster economic benefits by reducing fuel costs for consumers and businesses alike.
Today's commissioning marks a significant milestone in our nation's journey towards a more sustainable and energy-efficient future, diversifying our energy resources while reducing our carbon footprint.
Some of the areas the 12 commissioned CNG stations are domiciled include Agidingbi, Ikeja, Lagos, Mobile Road, Apapa, Lagos, Sangotedo in Lagos, and Airport Road in Abuja. Others are Kubwa in Abuja, Gwagwalada, Dutse in Buari, and Olusegun Obasanjo Way in Abuja.
We are the largest single asset holder in Africa's oil and gas industry and poised to be the dynamic global energy company of choice. We are constantly innovating to be the prime company for energy sufficiency. We are NNPC Limited, energy for today, energy for tomorrow.
The 23rd edition of the NOG Energy Week has ended in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. The event provided experts and industry watchers a platform to discuss and engage on new policy pronouncements, explore investment opportunities, and chart a new course for the development of the sector. NNPC Limited was actively involved in the 5-day event, both as a principal sponsor and as a participant. Here are the details.
The theme for this year's event, showcasing opportunities, driving investments, and meeting energy demands, laid the foundation for discussions around Africa's journey towards a more affordable and sustainable energy system. This March was the crux of the address by the Ministers of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil and Gas.
The first directive given to us by Mr. President, or to me by Mr. President, was to say, look, go work with stakeholders, work with Mela Kyari, work with Benga Komalafe, work with Farouk, work with SA Energy to ramp up production. In his own words, he said, go and increase the pie. When the pie is big enough, it will be enough for everybody. And that is exactly what we have been doing.
We are promoting the use of compressed natural gas, CNG, for vehicles, also known as autogas. This initiative is not only a strategic response to cushion the effects of downstream deregulation but also a significant driver of market growth and job creation for Nigerians.
In a keynote address, NNPC's Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Mele Kyari, disclosed that in order for Nigeria to increase its crude oil production and grow its reserves, a state of emergency has been declared and the war room set up.
As the partner of 80% of those who produce oil and gas in this country, we have decided that we'll stop the debate. And we have declared a war. War means war. We have the right troops. We know what to fight. We know what we have to do at the level of assets. And we have engaged our partners.
Kerry added that a detailed analysis of assets revealed Nigeria can conveniently produce 2 million barrels of crude oil per day without deploying new rigs, but the major impediment to achieving that remains the inability of players to act in a timely manner. He therefore called for more collaboration to reduce production costs and a proper effective system and process put in place. There were goodwill messages by the Secretary General of OPEC, Haitham Al-Ghais, Secretary General of the Gas Exporting Countries Forum, Mohammed Hamel, Special Advisor to the President on Energy, Mrs. Oluvehen, as well as the Chairman IPPG, Mr. Abdulrazak Issa.
Thank you for your valuable contributions and leadership to this organization, and we congratulate you on the many ways you are helping lead Nigeria's dynamic energy industry into the future.
A tour of exhibition floor by the dignitaries was conducted to mark the opening ceremony. The thought-provoking sessions and partnership opportunities at the conference are expected to tackle the industry's most pressing challenges and unlock limitless potentials in achieving energy security and a secure, sustainable and equitable energy transition for Africa.
Now, major events at the NOG Energy Week included panel and technical sessions that looked at how to develop institutions to meet energy demands. NNPC Limited was represented in most of the sessions.
Speaking at a panel session themed Accelerating Investment, Enabling Industry Growth and Meeting Energy Demand, the Chief Financial Officer of NNPC Limited, Mr. Umar Rajia, said an aggressive approach is needed to address environmental challenges and create an enabling atmosphere for investments to thrive. In addition, he said Africa needs to focus more on developing its own institutions to finance energy infrastructure projects to attract the needed investments into the energy sector.
We need to address the investors' appetite. And what is the investor looking for? The investor is looking for fiscal incentives, is looking for a stable regulatory environment. The investor is also looking for a safe haven where his investment can prosper.
Mr. Ajia gave highlights of key national projects undertaken by NNPC, such as the Gwagwalada, Kaduna and Kano independent power plants, which stand to industrialize Nigeria's economy and make attractive investment opportunities for the country. The panel session had representatives from the African Export-Import Bank, the Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund, Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Africa Finance Corporation, and the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. They all agreed on one key item, that Africa is ready for a robust energy investment regime, and there is need therefore to focus more on policies and projects for self-financing on the long term, whilst attracting more viable investment in the process.
In another panel session at the 2024 NOG Energy Week, gas and deep water development were major talking points. NNPC's Executive Vice President, Gas, Power and New Energy, Olalekan Ogunleye, and his upstream counterpart, Mrs. Orishemeyiwa Eyeson, featured prominently in those sessions.
The EVP Gas, Power and New Energy, Mr. Ogunleye, in his remarks, highlighted the pivotal role the gas sector plays in driving Nigeria's economic prosperity and energy transition. He emphasized the need for investors to intensify the drive to deepen gas development in Nigeria, just as he called for more partnership and collaboration in the sector, adding that focus must be shifted from theory to actual implementation.
The vision of government and NNPC is crystal clear. It is to remove importation of butane into the country as an issue entirely. So That's the destination, and this is an initiative that is taken seriously. Working together, we'll get there.
In a similar vein, the Executive Vice President Upstream, Mrs. Orishemeyiwa Eyesan, emphasized the critical importance of developing the required expertise to unlock the vast opportunities in Nigeria's deepwater fields. She stressed that all hands must be on deck to achieve this objective. Eyesan highlighted the need for focused investments in research, technology, and capacity building to ensure Nigeria has the necessary skills and capabilities to effectively explore and produce from its deepwater resources.
We all came together, we sat together and said, we need to face this head on. Local content was also one of those problems we sat together to resolve as an industry. So I think before it becomes too critical, before it gets to a critical point, I think it's a wake-up call for us now to start talking about these competencies and capabilities that we require to deliver, especially our deep water projects. You know, again, I see very clearly misalignments between partners. And of course, you all have your individual KPIs that you want to achieve. But the truth is that the country in which you operate should be your primary focus.
The 23rd NOG Energy Week may have come and gone, but it is hoped that the ideas and propositions generated will provide solutions and action points that will propel the Nigerian energy industry to the next level.
While a number of critical issues in the energy sector were raised during the NOG Energy Week, some of the issues cut across crude oil production cost, investment in gas infrastructure project, and the CNG expansion drive. Energy and You caught up with some of the key participants and those in attendance to capture their perspective and their understanding of the current state of the industry and their expectations in the near future.
Currently, because of the diversification in the country, we realize that there's a need for LACT units into the injections or existing lines like Shell lines, Facados, Transfacados lines. So our business is basically to provide you LACT units ranging from 100,000, 50,000 barrels per day. We currently have a 200,000 barrels per day. That will bring in a line that is going into the Port Harcourt refinery. We are currently working on that line with our clients. And then at the same time, we're also injecting into the Shell line that is going to Bonny. That is also bringing 200,000 barrels additional into what the government is looking for. And that is where we come in.
Most of the pipelines, most of the wells and other infrastructure that should run this energy, that should run the industry effectively are aged. And so you need to replace those infrastructure. So for NNPC, it's a key investment. And for us in NCDMB, NNPC is one of our key partners in terms of ensuring that production is improved, to ensuring that we meet our quota in terms of OPEC demand, quota for Nigeria. We also meet our energy needs as a country. So investing in infrastructure is key to meeting that need.
Some of the challenges we experience or how it affects the production is bunkering activities. So when you have bunkering activities in the line, production is shut down immediately to prevent further spillage into the environment. We come in to fix these bunkering points using different methods. We use clamping methods where we go in to cut off this IC, illegal connection on the pipeline. Clamp is a tool that we normally use to clamp that particular section that has high pressure seals. So once that clamp is installed, production can then be recovered immediately. So we have very minimal timeline to recover production and bring production back into the pipeline so that the system, the whole gathering networks, because it's full of networks, it's a group of networks. So the whole gathering networks, because if you are producing and it's not delivering somewhere, networks or the production must stop somewhere until it's being fixed.
My takeaway from here is what I've constantly put on the table whilst we've been here for us on OML 42 and indeed the entire group has been around the ease of doing business.
We'll take a break here, but when Energy and You returns, there'll be an update on NNPC's ongoing war on crude oil theft, plus collaborations to improve energy security in Nigeria. Stay with us.
misconception people have. They think it takes so long to fill. When it's even faster than even the normal petrol.
It's compressed.
It's compressed gas. Yes, exactly.
So congratulations on the partnership. We expect more and more stations to come in for the Nigerians to enjoy this beautiful station what we have set up.
Congratulations to all of us. Thank you very much for the continuous collaboration that we're having with NIPCO and other partners.
Thank you very much.
You're still watching Energy and You. Now, the war on crude oil theft has continued to gain momentum as NNPC Limited recorded more gains with the discovery of illegal mercenaries around the production field. Here's an update.
The war on crude oil theft is on, and the industry-wide security collaboration on hydrocarbon infrastructure continues to record remarkable progress. Between the 29th of June and the 5th of July 2024, a total of 262 incidences were recorded from several incident sources: Tantita Security Agency, Shell Petroleum Development Company, Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited, Maton Engineering Nigeria Limited, Nigerian Ajib Oil Company, NNPC Limited's Command and Control Center, and government security agencies. In the past week, 130 illegal refineries were discovered. Notable locations include Bile, Buguma, Tombo 4, Elele Alimini, Ainyu, Emelego, Tomkiri, and Okaki, all in Rivers State, as well as Oruma, Oloibiri, Ebelebiri, Mbiama, and Ogbolomabiri, all in Bayelsa State. 30 illegal connections were uncovered in various regions. Specifically, illegal connections were identified along the Ajib pipeline in Ekebiri, Bayelsa State, and at the Ajib Ogoda Brass line at Okuruba. Multiple illegal connections were also removed in Ogbeinbiri, Bayelsa State. The week also saw the arrest of 32 wooden fiber boats in Oluosiri and Southern Ijo, Bayelsa State, North-South Group, and Ogbonoma River State, and 16 vehicles laden with stolen crude oil included Isoko North, Ole, and Elu in Delta State, as well as Port Harcourt, Abloma in River State, and Awa 1 in Akwa Ibom State. 16 incidences of oil spills were recorded, with notable spills occurring in Minibe in Bayelsa State, Carlton Channel, Tombo 4, all in Rivers. Community members were also seen fetching crude oil from a spill point at Bodo in Rivers State. 17 vessels were also reported for automatic identification system infractions, and 14 illegal storage locations were identified. These storage sites included locations in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Port Harcourt in Rivers State, Ogbuefe and Oguta in Imo State, Ogara 4 and Tebidaba Market in Bayelsa State. The incidents were spread across various corridors: 154 in the Central Corridor, 61 in the Eastern Corridor, 30 in the Western Corridor, and 17 in Deep Blue Water. 30 suspects were arrested during this period. These suspects have been handed over to government security agencies for further investigation. For NNPC Limited, there is no backing down on the war against crude oil theft until the menace is eradicated for good.
To report crude oil theft or suspicious activities within your area, call the numbers on your screen now, or send an email to report@stopcrudetheft.com. Handsome rewards await the whistleblower. Do your part. Report oil theft today.
And that's our show for the week. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. If you missed any part of this episode or previous ones, you can catch up by scanning the QR code on your screen now. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles shown on your screen to get updates of events in the energy sector and other activities of NNPC Limited. Thanks again for watching. I'm Egusa Higumbo. See you next time.